Eset Nod32 antivirus has been around for decades at this point, but I want to see if their security standards hold up against modern malware threats. Yep, it's time for an updated Eset Nod32 antivirus review. Let's address the elephant in the room. For a while, Eset was known as the most commonly pirated antivirus. This whole thing was unethical, illegal, and not to mention, very dangerous, especially since a pirated antivirus is a common way of spreading malware. Plus, you won't get any new antivirus updates, meaning your protection level will stay somewhere in the 2000s. Do you think that's going to help with today's threats? It's going to fall apart at the sight of it. But hey, since you're watching this video, I'm going to go ahead and assume you're interested in real protection. So let's check the security defenses of the proper Eset version. First thing I always check is independent testing. Looking at the latest AV test results, although Eset got pretty solid scores catching all of the older, wider known threats, it seems like it struggled to catch some newer malware. The 98.3% rating isn't bad at all, but hey, there's room to improve, or rather some competitors to catch up with. In the same testing, other antivirus options I often recommend like Bitdefender and Norton got top malware protection scores. That said, if we look at Eset scores during the past few years, it seems like they're holding their ground with steadily high results. Of course, I did my own testing as well, and the results were actually pretty similar. I planted 10 malicious files onto my PC, turned off real-time protection, and ran a full scan. This time, Eset Nod32 caught 9 of 10 threats. I usually expect to see no less than 7 malware files caught by a proper antivirus, so yeah, that's a great score. Also, Eset was fairly light on my system. That's why after this Eset review, I'd say that it's fit for older computers that don't have very high specs. And actually, in my eyes, this antivirus is primarily for PC users. Okay, sure, there's also an Android app which is equipped with an antivirus scanner and some pretty useful features, but there's no app for iOS users. Yes, iPhones are harder to crack in general, but that doesn't mean they're 100% resistant, so I'd like to see some security options for them too. Linux users could also get some love since this Eset version hasn't received support since 2022, which is a bit of a bummer. But hey, let's talk about what Eset has. This antivirus is pretty easy to set up and use with a clean and well-organized interface. When you open the Eset Nod32 antivirus for the first time, it begins scanning your device and raises any issues right away. This is especially great for beginners who just want to clean their device. Oh, and before I continue, I want to remind you that I always keep an eye out for the latest antivirus discounts. If you're looking to get Eset or you want to check out the best antivirus alternatives, I left special links in the description below. Now, if you're specifically interested in Eset, you might want to stick around until the end of this Eset review 2023 because there's still more to discuss. Alright, a big part of the security package when it comes to any antivirus is features. So what does Eset have to offer? Well, for one, Eset has a proper firewall, which monitors ingoing and outgoing traffic for suspicious activity. If you want, you can customize the firewall a little bit yourself, but for beginners, I recommend leaving the standard settings. It should be plenty for proper protection. And continuing along the features, I also like the Eset banking and payment protection feature. It keeps you safe as you shop online, making sure your payment information doesn't end up in the wrong hands. The anti-theft capabilities may sound similar, but they go into an entirely different boat. It's a feature with a long list of tools, from location tracking to one-way messaging and even a phantom account creation. Using it, you can create fake accounts that cybercriminals will log into instead of your real one. This way, they won't see any of your personal info. But to me, the crown jewel of this is the laptop activity watch. Using this, you can remotely access your webcam and catch the thief red-handed. Another one of the features that I like is the Eset Password Manager. It uses standard encryption to protect your data, syncs passwords across all the devices that you have Eset on, and their autofill worked without any errors for me. Now, the Password Manager is only available with the more expensive plans, but if you want to get a cybersecurity bundle, well, it's a pretty good deal. However, if you only want an antivirus, well, then you have a couple of plans to choose from. Now, this is where we need to talk about value. Their cheapest plan covers most of the essentials, however it lacks a lot of features. No firewall, no banking protection, and many other tools from this list. Since the firewall feature is essential for an antivirus, I'd recommend going for the Advanced Security Plan, aka Eset Internet Security, which will cover all the bases. The most advanced plan, Eset Smart Security Premium, besides the password manager I mentioned, also adds Eset LiveGuard to the mix, which is a layer of protection against newer malware threats. Personally, I think every plan should contain this feature, but I can't tell them how to run their business, now can I? What I can tell you is that compared to the market, Eset isn't on the cheap side. These initial prices are just for 1 year and one device, while let's say Bitdefender Total Security Plan has most of the same benefits, covers 5 devices, and costs much less. I'm just saying, consider your options and your budget. And if you want to learn more about antivirus alternatives and all kinds of other cybersecurity tools, then drop a like and subscribe to our channel. You'll be glad you did. But for now, let's sum up this Eset Not32 antivirus review. There's no denying that Eset is a widely trusted and powerful antivirus. It's not perfect, but it has excellent protection against a variety of threats, so I can recommend it to most users. Just not if you have an iPhone or Linux. Sorry. I hope I answered all your questions. If there's any left, leave them down in the comments below. If not, here's my gift to you. See that box? Yep, well, it contains all the current best antivirus options and their best deals. Check it out.